From Party Foul in Murfreesboro, here's Blue Raider Extra Point.
Welcome to Blue Raider Extra Point. I'm Abigail Martin here as always with Chase Owens and with Willis Stevenson. We're here at Party Foul in Murfreesboro on this college game day morning, ready to give you all the Conference USA and MTSU Blue Raider action. We're going to go ahead and get it started. We've got a great show lined up for you guys today, so we're going to go ahead and get it started with the starting lineup from Nathan Vaughn.
The starting lineup.
Another week means another slate of great college football games as Week 3 commences. And while the SEC is still a week away from opening its 2020 season, there are still a few high-profile matchups coming this weekend. Georgia Tech rained on Florida State in new head coach Mike Norvell's debut party last week with a comeback win in Tallahassee. Now the Yellow Jackets will return to Atlanta to face UCF in the Golden Knights' first game of the year. Tech quarterback Jeff Sims lived up to the hype against the Noles, dropping 277 yards through the air in the first win for a freshman quarterback in their first start in Georgia Tech history. Sims and company will need that same production against UCF's high-power offense, piloted by returning starting quarterback Dylan Gabriel, who set a UCF record for most passing yards by a freshman last year. App State is back in the Associated Press Top 25 after its opening win over Charlotte, where the Mountaineers ran for 308 yards in a 35-20 win. For Marshall, the Herd put up an eye-popping 59-0 smoke show over Eastern Kentucky for its season opener 2 weeks ago. This matchup might come down to which quarterback can outduel the other, as Zach Thomas, one of the Sun Belt's finest players, takes on Marshall freshman Grant Wells. This week's primetime matchup pits two teams looking to challenge for the number 2 spot in the ACC behind Clemson as Miami heads to Louisville. Miami quarterback De'Aaron King looked just as good as he did at Houston in the Canes' win over UAB in Week 1, continuing his FBS leading streak of games with at least one passing and rushing touchdown. But the running game also showed that the Canes are not one-dimensional, with 337 yards rushing versus the Blazers. Louisville will need to clean up the mistakes from its win over Western Kentucky to defend home turf, after 2 turnovers gifted the Hilltoppers touchdowns. Tutu Atwell for the Cards is one of the best receivers in the country and received great service from junior quarterback Michael Cunningham in the team's season opener, hauling in 7 catches for 78 yards. This game is critical for the future of both teams' seasons and will be the biggest matchup of the weekend for possible playoff contention.
Thanks, Nathan. And Chase, with those games in mind, what are your can't-miss games today?
This week I've got my eyes on 2 of them. I like Liberty at WKU as they've got 2 new quarterbacks under center, Tyrell Pogrom and Malik Willis. They're going to be taking some of their first snaps this Saturday. And then I also like Troy and MTSU as the Palladium takes place for the first time in 8 years. Last time happened, MTSU won 24-21, and we're looking for an exciting one on this Saturday.
Absolutely. And we are just getting started. Don't go anywhere, because coming up next, we have the Big Blue Review. Stay tuned for more on Blue Raider Extra Point.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right, because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a 4th ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all, if I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Welcome back to Blue Raider Extra Point. I'm Abigail Martin here as always with Chase Owens and with Will Stevenson, and we are here on a very special college game day as we get ready for the Battle of the Palladium. We're going to kick it over to the Noahs, Noah Boffman and Noah Maddox, and let me tell you guys, they are back at it again, and they're going toga style for the Big Blue Review as they get us ready and prepped for this rivalry.
The Big Blue Review.
Toga, toga, toga. That's right, folks. It's Troy Week. And if you can't tell, Noah and I are very excited. For this week's review, we will be looking at the history of the battle for the Palladium.
What even is a Palladium?
The Palladium is a statue that dates all the way back to the ancient times during the Trojan War. The statue is believed to have protect the ancient city of Troy after it fell down from the heavens. During the Trojan War, the Greek raiders stole the statue from Troy in order to weaken the city's defenses. Throughout the years, it was believed that whoever possessed the statue would hold dominance over the rival nation.
Wow, you can really tell there's a lot of history in this game.
Oh, more than you know. Since 1936, the Blue Raiders and the Trojans have been doing battle, making this the oldest rivalry in the Sun Belt. Then in 2003, an MTSU alumni made the 3-foot statue the teams now play for. Middle leads the series 12-8.
Wait, how have they only played 20 games in 90 years?
Due to conference realignment, we have not been able to play Troy since 2012. However, this game used to decide who would win the Sun Belt. Now that we're in the Conference USA, we haven't been able to play them. But we do have the Palladium right now, and we do not plan to give it back.
Wait, don't we play them twice this year though?
Yes, but that's a conversation for next week as we are all out of time. Back to y'all from the notes.
And thank you to the Noahs. I don't know about y'all, but I think that has to be the best one yet.
Absolutely.
We have to take a quick break, but coming up next, we're going to take you around the CUSA.
And Houston Chapman will have this week's Blue Raider Spotlight.
And what was once my favorite portion of the show, the picks. Stick around for more coming on Blue Raider Extra Point.
You're watching Blue Raider Extra Point.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
And welcome back to Blue Raider Extra Point. We're here at Party Foul in Murfreesboro, and we want to thank them for being such a great host. But Chase, I know that you're super eager to go ahead and get this one started, so go ahead and take us around this USA.
Right now, you guys know the drill. We've got 2 games for you guys today. We've got Marshall and App State taking on each other, and then we've also got the Battle of the Palladium as MTSU takes on Troy.
Around the CUSA.
App State is 1-0 heading into this game, as Week 1 highlighted the rushing attack from the Mountaineers as they rushed for over 300 yards and had 2 100-yard rushers. Marshall gave up 87 yards against a lesser Eastern Kentucky team, but App State is not Eastern Kentucky, and Marcus Williams and Cameron Peoples, those 2 100-yard rushers, are looking to both go over 100 in back-to-back weeks. Just like App State, Marshall is heading into this game 1-0 after a 59-0 dragging of the Colonels of Eastern Kentucky. Grant Wells looked phenomenal in his first action as a starter, throwing for over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. App State is not the best at stopping the passing attack, or the worst for that matter, as they gave up around 206 passing yards last season. Grant Wells hopes to take advantage of the middle-of-the-pack pass defense this week. On the other side, as mentioned before, the Palladium is on the line as the Trojans look to start a new streak of winning over MTSU, as they won 7 straight when both teams were in the Sun Belt. MTSU won the last one, but that was 8 years ago. This Troy team is new and improved and looking to start the season right. Watch out in the middle of that defense as middle linebacker Colton Marshall is going to try to duplicate the success he had a season ago, in which he had over 100 tackles and 3 interceptions. Troy wants to be 1-0 this week, and they want to win the Palladium. MTSU, on the other hand, did nothing right Week 1 as they were beaten 42-0, which was the first time they had been shut out since 2012, and coincidentally was the last time they beat Troy. Asher O'Hara was limited in Week 1, and if the preseason All-American wants to live up to the hype, he's got to do better than 64 yards and no scores. This defense is the defense to do it against, though, as they gave up an average of 435 yards per game last season. MTSU looks to get their season back on the right track against an old-time rival and take the Palladium back-to-back times.
Thanks, Chase. And now here's the full lineup of Conference USA games for this weekend. Take it over to the softball field for Houston Chapman and the Blue Raider Spotlight.
What's up, Blue Raiders? I'm Houston Chapman here with Gretchen Mead. Gretchen, tell me a little about yourself.
I'm Gretchen Mead. I'm from Houston, Texas, and I'm a junior pitcher.
So what does this offseason look like for you guys?
We've had some individuals so far. We had our first team practice this Saturday, and this week we're looking at doing some inter-squad.
What are your goals for this season?
Obviously this season we really want to play. We got cut short last year, so we're looking forward to getting on the field some.
So what have you been working on this offseason?
This fall I've really been working a lot on my curveball and staying tight and my changeup, staying fast through my whole motion so I'm not giving the pitch away.
What does it take to have a great pitch in softball?
It takes a pretty strong core, a lot of leg drive, and a fast arm motion.
How fast is your pitch?
I throw about 60, 63.
63? I don't think that's that hard. I think I can hit that. What do you think?
We'll have to see.
All right, well, let's find out.
In the beginning, I wasn't even close. Just miss after miss after miss. But then, right here, I made some contact, and I thought I was finally figuring it out. But then, this happened. just an absolute rocket to the top. Right as I was getting comfortable, I was humbled. But I walked it off because, as we all know, minor setbacks for major comebacks. After 30 minutes of struggle, shockingly, there was no comeback. I realized I had no business playing softball.
So as you can see, trying to get a hit off Gretchen Mead is impossible. It didn't matter how hard I tried, I just could not get a hit. I also learned that it's not a good idea to crowd the plate against a D1 pitcher because I got hit square in the thigh. But I had a great time. So if you want to check out Gretchen and the rest of the Blue Raider softball team, check them out on social media. And tune in next time to the next Blue Raider Spotlight.
Thanks, Houston. He sure learned a lesson trying to crowd the plate against a Division I softball pitcher, and he has the mark to prove it.
I'm pretty sure you can still see the seams on his leg from that pitch. Stick around as we take Zachary Lone and go through the scouting report this week.
Catch Blue Raider Extra Point right here Saturday mornings at 10:30 from Party Foul in Murfreesboro.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign, not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
If I could go back and change it all, I would. I think I'm gonna miss you the most. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Or maybe it's just the little moments. If I could go back and change it all. If I could go back, I would. But I can't.
Son, love is like the ocean. You have to tread the waters.
Dad, that's not the kind of help I needed. Jessica, will you go to prom with me?
Yes.
Thousands of teens in foster care can't wait to share their first with you.
Time for more Blue Raider Extra Point.
And welcome back. MTSU is set to face Troy today at 3 p.m. for the Battle of the Palladium. Let's go ahead and get it started with Zachary Lone and the scouting report.
Today, I'll be breaking down how MTSU's defense stacks up as they try and defend the Palladium. Troy will be looking to try and replace quarterback Caleb Barker for the season after he graduated last year. Troy will have to make up for 302 passing yards per game and an efficiency rating of 148.4 that Barker provided for them last year. Look for Gunnar Watson to fill that role. Watson only appeared in 6 games last year and completed 13 of his 22 passes that he attempted for 89 total yards. Another athlete that MTSU needs to look out for is running back D.K. Billingsley. Billingsley had 155 rushing attempts last year that went for a total of 901 yards. He averaged 5.8 yards per attempt, so MTSU needs to keep a close eye on him. Troy's high-powered offense averaged 33 points per game last year, which is good for the 24th most points scored per game in college football. MTSU allowed 30 points per game, so expect this game to be a high-scoring affair. Troy also averaged 452 yards per game last year, which was the 18th best in the country. MTSU gave up 459 yards per game last year, which was in the lower third of the country. MTSU only gave up 368 yards to Army, so this is an area to watch out for in the game today. In 2019, Troy averaged 316 yards through the air, which was the 7th best in all of college football. MTSU gave up 265 passing yards last year, which was also in the bottom third of the FBS. Troy also converted fourth down 62% of the time last year, which was also in the top third in the country. MTSU gave up fourth downs at a rate of 59%, which was good for 96th in the country. MTSU wants to slow down Troy's offense this week to defend the Palladium. This one should be a good one if you enjoy high-scoring affairs. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Zachary. And now with his scouting report in mind, what are some keys to succeed for MTSU this week?
This week, I think MTSU needs to be able to run the football. Last season, Troy gave up an average of 157 yards per game, and we've got to be able to take advantage of that. 2, we've got to fit our blocks. In the middle of Troy's defense is a guy named Carlton Marshall, and he is just a stud. Last season had over 100 tackles, 3 interceptions, with 1 he took to the house. And then 3, we've got to slow down some offense. Last season, Troy averaged 34 points a game, and that's just something we cannot allow to happen.
Absolutely. And my first key starts simple. Forget about week 1. Don't let the struggles from the Army game make you feel like this team isn't full of talent. Regain your trust in the offense to move the ball and play your own game. Second key is to force the run. Troy has several quarterbacks that are battling for a start, so whoever is under center will be playing as hard as they can. Force incompletions and make them go to the ground game. And when you do, the third key is to fill the gaps. Troy's O-line is full of size, so when you force the run, make sure they don't make you pay for it by finding easy lanes.
Well, I think great minds think alike because your first key is exactly mine. Forget about game 1. I'm not sure what was going on there, and I think that's something MTSU wants to forget already, and that's okay. But for key number 2, what we're going to do is manage the clock. That is the one thing that I'm going to ask that MTSU doesn't forget about game 1, because you go into halftime scoreless and you have 2 timeouts as well. You simply can't have that happen. And for key number 3, don't force the offense. Running game and pass game, they just crumbled. If Azure O'Hara's first look wasn't there, the offense crumbled, and if you don't have that offense going, you're going to end up shut out once again.
Absolutely, and those are some great keys, guys. But our picks are in. We're going to head to break, and when we come back, we're going to let you guys know who we see taking the wins in this week's CUSA matchups. Stick around.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Once there was a boy who did the same thing again and again. One day, he was told he had autism. He got help and slowly learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
And welcome back to Blue Raider Extra Point. We're a few minutes away from kickoff, so we're going to go ahead and get in our picks. But boys, before we get started, we have a very special guest today. We have Josh Padilla with MT Athletics. He is not here on location, but he's there in his own special way. So as soon as we get done with our picks, we're going to kick it over to him. So let's go ahead and get started. First up, we have Liberty at WKU.
I like Tyrell Pogrom and the Hilltoppers.
I hate going with our rivals, but I've got to go with WKU.
That's exactly what I said. I have WKU. App State at Marshall.
I like the rushing game from the Mountaineers. Go App State.
I'm going to have to go Marshall.
I have Marshall as well. SFA and UTSA.
That one's easy. UTSA.
UTSA is coming off of a big win with their hometown rivalry. Got to go with them.
UTSA. Charlotte at North Carolina.
North Carolina.
North Carolina for sure.
North Carolina. FAU at Georgia Southern. And before y'all pick, I have to remind you that Tuesday practice was canceled because 11 players have COVID.
Yeah, that really didn't change anything for me. I was going to go Georgia Southern anyway.
I've got Georgia Southern.
Georgia Southern. SMU at North Texas.
Transfer U, SMU, doesn't matter. I'm going with them.
I've got North Texas.
I've got SMU. Louisiana Tech at Southern Miss.
La Tech.
I've got Southern Miss.
I've got Southern Miss. Abilene Christian at UTEP.
Go Miners.
UTEP.
Abilene Christian. And last but not least, Troy at MTSU.
You know, after week one, I really did not want to say this, but I've got to go with MTSU.
We got something to play for this week. We've got our first win on the line, and we've got the Palladium on the line. I've got to go MTSU.
I think we're true blue strong, and we can all agree with that. I have MTSU as well.
And now we're going to kick it to Josh Padilla for his picks.
What's up, everyone? I'm Josh Padilla. I do social media here at MT Athletics, also with the football account, and I'm here to give you my CUSA picks for the weekend. For my first pick, I'm picking Liberty over WKU because we do not pick WKU around here. For my next pick, I'm going to pick App State to beat Marshall because me personally, I'm not really a big Marshall fan either. I'm going to pick the UTSA Roadrunners to beat Stephen F. Austin simply because I have friends that went to UTSA, so I want them to feel a little happy this weekend when UTSA gets the win. My upset pick for the weekend will not be Charlotte over North Carolina because the Tar Heels will win. Now my real upset pick is Georgia Southern to beat FAU because I'm an FIU Panther and I never root for FAU with anything. I'm going to go with SMU to defeat the Mean Green. For this pick, I'm going Louisiana Tech to beat Southern Miss, SMU. New head coach this week, so, I'm going to go with La Tech just because they have a coach that's coached. And my last pick, before we get to the pick that really matters, I'm going to pick UTEP to defeat Abilene Christian. And the pick we've all been waiting for, MTSU versus Troy, battle for the Palladium. It hasn't been since 2012 since Kevin Byard got that pick six for the win, and we're going to win it again. Blue Raiders over the Trojans. Let's go, baby.
Check out Blue Raider Extra Point on Instagram and Twitter.
Absolutely raise that trophy, Josh. Thanks to you and Mark Owens and everybody at MT Athletics for joining us today on this show.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, that's all the time that we have here today. We want to thank again to Party Foul in Murfreesboro for being our home base for Blue Raider Extra Point. Remember to catch us right here on Channel 9 every Saturday morning at 10:30. Go ahead, go watch some college football, and go True Blue.
And if you missed any of today's episode or any of our past episodes, make sure you check them out on our website at middletennesseenews.net. Thank you and have a great day.
I'm not going to lie to you, I really didn't anticipate doing a forfeit. I kind of just anticipated winning a lot.
Hey man, you can't win them all.
I
Sorry
can
to tell you.
I can.
Yeah, you've been saying undefeated all day. You definitely lost a game.
But we've had 2 rounds of picks, and guess who's won it both times? So
But
technically, I am undefeated.
there will be a day
Have I
where
had to
you're
do a
the
forfeit
one.
yet? Have I had to do a forfeit yet?
That doesn't mean you
Have
won't
I?
have to.
All
And
right,
when you
okay,
do,
well, right now, I'm undefeated.
There's not
I'm
been-
undefeated.
No.
That's
I don't
exactly what I'm
know.
telling you.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right because a few hours ago in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.